band in a wand. So for the wand, if you don't have a wand, you could use a tennis racket, or a broomstick will be okay, just a little long. And some of you have like a dowel that we used in class, anything like that. And then an elastic band of some kind for the muscle strengthening. Okay. For now, we're going to chair, where you can rest your fingertips lightly on the chair. And we're going to go through a balance and strengthening workout with music. So there's some coordination involved with that, as far as watching and going at the pace of the music. One part of this, I'm going to slide my chair over so you can see me, but a lot of these movements, you're standing on one leg. And when you do that, you want to be very firm on that one leg, have that seat muscle tightened, be stretched up nice and tall, so that heart lifted, and then contracting the belly, the seat, even the back, to hold that upright thing as you shift to one leg. So you might try that, because there's a tendency when you shift to the one leg to kind of collapse. So holding everything up straight. And then we'll be doing some movements where we balance and lift with strength and control, coordination. And you could have the chair in front of you. If so, you try for one finger, maybe even just one hand. But trying to keep that trunk strong, straight. And then I'm going for a slow movement with control. So when it's hard, the leg wants to get down real fast. But if you can control that return to the ground, you'll just build your strength and balance. Okay, feet hip width apart. Let's take a breath in and a breath out. Circle the shoulders back, getting air into the upper lungs. Okay, and then shoulders up, back, and down. And I'm going to start the music. So, first seat, your chair could be in front of you. We're going to start with some toe raises. So we go up and down, firm ankles, weight towards your first and second toes, and lift and lower. Last time, lift and down. Now we're going to pedal, lots of vertical movement, and then quicker. Slow it down and bend the knees straight. Heels stay down. And then we're going to do a backward lunge. So that step back, nudge, and front, step back on the other side. And then right up to the chair, some knee lifts. Going through that slow, downward and control. Other side, and lift, lift. And then facing the chair, we'll do that. Leg lift forward and out to the side. Other side lift. Good. And now we're going to lift to the back. Mostly a straight knee. Back, so it's a few inches. Getting your seat muscle. Other leg. Lift, tap, lift, and tap. Lift, tap, lift. Good. Now we're going to work on the hips together. Okay, and a breath in, a breath out. Tighten your seats, pull in the urinary muscles. We'll bring the hands forward. Big backward arm circle. Think of that shoulder rotating right in the joint. And both together, seat squeezed, urinary muscles contracted, belly nice and strong. And we're going to do this motion. Think of this as chopping onions. So the shoulders are still back and down, heart's lifted, belly in, seat tight. And we speed it up, going as fast as you can and slow it down. Straighten the arms. This is the core works a little harder now. So the seat, urinary muscles and belly, and speed it up and you'll feel it more this time in the belly and the seat. And we'll slow it down. Let's do a breath in and a breath out. And we're going to go into some movements where we're going to do some eyes open and some eyes closed. And now I recommend standing to the side of your chair. Or if you're near a wall, or you can put your hand on the wall, just where you have a spot if you need it, to reach out and touch something. We're going to start with a Superman lift. So that's opposite arm and leg involved. Leg forward, arm or leg back, arm forward, and then a switch. And a switch. And a switch. Let's try going up on the toe. Toe. So a little toe lift. Toe. Toe. Just a moment. My screen says something. I have to look at it. Okay. All right. So your chair's there and you figured out you might need something. Now what we want to do is we'd like to do that and think of closing your eyes. If you feel steady enough, maybe touch something the first few times. Then see, maybe you can do it a few times without the touch. And let's squeeze your seat, a breath in, a breath out, circle back, and maybe see if you can do it. Eyes closed, going up on the toes. So let's do it a few times, eyes open. And then maybe try closing your eyes just with the lift, it's like a blink. And then you might be able to keep your eyes closed. That lift to the toe. Okay, good, everybody. It looks vigorous out there. It looks like it's working. Let's go ahead and do a breaststroke. Pulling back firmly. Okay, all right. And circle back and let's go on to our impacts now. So here's where you want to get on a firm surface. And I'm hoping you can see me well enough. I've had to switch computers. My usual one wouldn't work this morning. So I'm in a tight space here. Let's go ahead and get started on our impacts. So, and most of the force you feel is into your heel. Let's lift, stomp, lift, stomp, lift, stomp, lift. Try eyes closed. Lift, stomp, lift, stomp, lift, stomp. Let's go to more stomp. And we're going to do some side to side. foot. We'll do our jumps in this position. And bring it in. Go the other way. Nudge. And some jumps. And back in. Side lunge. So we shift the weight. And we might try a few jumps. Side lunge. Back together. This leg out. Shift my weight over. See if I can do my jumps in the side lunge. Back in. Let's pedal. And transition to a jog. Lift the heart. Shoulders open. Back and down. And high knees if you can. Maybe close the eyes. And open your eyes. Let's go forward and backward. And forward. And back. Okay. Good. A good active start there. Let's get ready for a breath. Let's do shoulders first. And then arms out, a breath in, a breath out. Okay, and if you could, let's grab our bands, get our chairs ready. Have your wand not too far away. We'll be using those while we're sitting on the chair. And we'll come to the front edge of the chair and get ready to sit. All right. So we'll come to the front of the chair. Okay, to where you feel that chair behind your knees. We're going to bring this to the front of the waist, anchor it like a belt, sort of, and pull the elbows back. And the reason we're pulling the elbows back is to use the upper back muscles and stretch the front of the chest. Okay, let's go ahead, stick the seat out, keep your back mostly flat. Feet and knees stay hip width apart. You don't want your knees to touch each other. Pull that right up across your belly button. Okay, stick the seat out, and we're going to slowly lower to the chair. So really using your leg strength. Make sure your feet are flat, rolling the chest forward, and we'll come up. Stick the seat out, pull the elbows back, slowly down. Now, while we're sitting here, we're going to push one hand forward. I'm keeping the other one anchored at my waist. Look back and forward, bring it to your waist, push forward, so that's pushing muscles. Look back, forward, and back to the waist. And then we're just gonna bring it up. Now with the flat back, lean forward and come up. It's a little easier that way. And then what we'd like to do with this overhead is squeeze your seat, squeeze the urinary muscles, and we're going to do a side bend one way, a side bend the other way. Feel that in your rib cage, in your belly, both a stretch and a strengthener. And then, being sure you're close to the chair, stick your seat out. We'll keep the back flat, keep reaching out. If you need to bend your elbows a little, If this is hard on your shoulders or your neck, you can bend. And then make sure you're right in front of your chair, and we'll slowly sit. We're going to bring this, your hands 6 inches apart. Bring it, both fists to your upper chest. Let's push one hand straight up, and then the other hand. Good. Now say that bothers your shoulder. If it does, you could push straight out. So you choose what you want to do. We're going to add some leg movements with that. You can either push up or forward. So we'll do a push as we jump out. So this takes really good control of your back and your stomach muscles. Plus we're getting the arm workout. Be sure to breathe as it quickly becomes aerobic. So your heavy legs being controlled by your trunk while you're getting your arm muscles at the same time. Okay, let's bring this back to the waist. Scooch back a little in your chair. Get your feet flat. Hinge at the hips to lean forward, elbows back. And go ahead, we'll stand again. We're going to push forward with one arm. And then settle the shoulders lower. So the shoulders want to raise with the push forward. We're going to keep the shoulders down. And we'll slowly lower. Come up. Let's bring that into the waist. Other arm forward. Shoulders still wide and lower. We're going to gently land and come up. Switch. Shoulders down, shoulders wide. Good. Good. Down and up. And switch again. Keeping the shoulders in alignment. Okay. Nice. Okay. Let's circle the shoulders back. We're going to bring this forward. And while we stand in front of the chair, we're just going to do a twist. And you can give a little pull with the back hand to get an extra rotation, and we'll go to the other side. And if your neck is okay, watch your back hand. We'll go to each side again. And back. Okay. Now we're going to try something a little different. So again, our hands maybe 8 inches apart. What we're going to do is keep the elbows straight, and we're going to push the knee up in a quick movement into the band. So I push it up, and I'm going to go to the other side. That push. So I'm balancing on one leg. I'm strengthening my hip flexors. Push and down. Push and down. I'm going to do it 4 times on the other side. Push. A push. Good. Push. And a push. And then other leg. Push. Lift. Lift. So my arms, just like that, stay straight. And to lift. Okay. And then I'm going to find my chair again. I'm going to go to this upper back strengthening position. Hands at my waist, elbows firmly back. I'm going to check. I'm centered in front of my chair. Hinge at my hips. Stick the seat out. Feet and knees, hips width apart, and slowly lower with control. Okay, we've got this band here. What we'd like to do is just go in a circle, get some shoulder rotation. We take it in a circle this way. And this is thinking of the hips or the shoulders rotating in the joint. Okay, and then for now, you can set your band aside and take your shoes off. stay sitting for one moment. Okay, so we're gonna do some exercises where we turn sideways in the chair. So let's all step to the side. And then what you might want to do is turn your chair a bit so you still have a good view of your computer without twisting your neck too much. Okay, so in this position, we're going to drop one arm, hang on to the chair with the other arm, and we're going to do a side bend. So your arm just angles toward the floor and you have this hand keeps you from falling out of your chair. Sweep that arm up over the back of the chair. And what you want to think is any tight spots in your trunk muscles or your rib cage releasing. This is just allows for better breathing when you can get those any tight spots to relax. And then we're going to rotate again, looking for tight spots, this time the shoulder or the trunk. Release and trying to look back and then touching your opposite shoulder, twisting the opposite direction, and then around to the back, thinking of motion. Touch into the back. And then we're just going to drop that arm and let it swing. Think of relaxing your shoulder. And then both hands on the chair, this one kind of near the hips, this one kind of draped over the chair back in some way. Now we're going to change to working on the abdomen. So you want to pull your abdomen in and lean back, maybe 30 degrees. Keep your neck slightly flexed, so your chin a little toward your chest. You want to keep the neck relaxed. Let's come up on the tippy toes. Feel how that contracts the belly. We're going to lift, straighten, bend, and switch. Straighten, bend, and switch. Focus on keeping the belly contracted and relaxing the neck. Straighten, bend, and down. And we'll come up. And we're going to go to a hip and belly strengthener. We're going to straighten the front leg. And be sure to keep your back straight. Your arms can help with that. Strong straight leg coming out and in to touch. Point the toe. Think of this leg as strong and straight. This time we're going to leave it out. Bend, come onto the ball of the foot and check in with your back that it's still straight. And then we want to stretch the hips. So knee out. Knee in to touch, knee out, knee in to touch, and knee out, and in to touch. Okay, and then we're gonna go over to the other side. So maybe turn the chair a little, step around, and maybe turn now so you face the screen a little more fully. Okay, so we start knees together, feet together, and we're fully sideways in the chair. Hold on to the back, drop the first arm, trying to square the shoulders, and stretch over, sweep up, and stretch the other way. Thinking of your trunk muscles and your ribs. Everything stretching and moving fluidly. Maybe stretching in spots that are kind of tight. And up and over. That's it. It even looks, you all look like ballet dancers with that nice movement. So, you know, that slow, controlled, graceful. Now the arm here, now for the rotation. So this is where it's also stretching, looking back if your neck is okay. Opposite shoulder. we did it a few times, looking for those tight spots that you might need to stretch. And looking back. And a stretch, touch, and then we're going to reach back, and then we're going to let the arm drop and just swing. So the body stays pretty stationary. It's just the shoulder relaxing and gliding in the joint. Okay, and then we're going to put a hand here for support, grabbing onto the back of your chair, clenching the belly, and we'll lean back about 30 degrees. We're going to come on the toes, and we'll do some toe tap. Let your neck relax by just dipping the chin a little bit toward your chest. Whew. Okay, let's go ahead and we'll sit up. Okay. We're gonna strengthen in the hip, that's straightening the leg, pointing the toe, straightening the back. So all of these are trunk strengthening. And with strength and control, we slide it out and into touch. Slide it out, try to keep it lifted and in, and then it goes out, and here we'll bend and come to the ball of the foot. Tweaking the posture so you're really shoulders back, heart open, and then knee out to stretch your upper thigh, knee in and touching for that hip mobility, out and into touch and out and into touch. Okay. Now we're going to come forward in the chair. Okay, and we're going to do an exercise to put some force of your body weight into your wrists for bone density. So we'll start scooching to the front edge of the chair for this. Shoulders back and down, and then grab your chair. And you can add quite a bit of force. You sit here and push the heel of your hands into the chair by straightening the elbows. This is a bone density exercise. And then it's a matter of how much force do you want to, or could you, or should you add. So if you bring your feet out a little, if you're quite comfortable with your wrists, your elbows, your shoulders not bothering you, you could even slide your seat a little off the edge of the chair. So my seat, I just slid it forward off the edge of the chair. And then what I like to do for some strengthening, if that works, is I can lower and lift. So this is really good for the triceps, the back of the upper arm. And then I'm going to slide back on my chair. So one way that exercise could look is you just sit with light pressure the whole time, or it can be gradually more pressure by sliding forward. But we'll take a break. We'll open and close the hands to the front, to the sides, because even though you may not have wrists or finger problems, that's a lot of force. I want to loosen up. So finishing with those wrist circles. I'm going to take one arm, a breath in and out, and a breath in and out. And then you can do that again if you want, or you could be doing some wrist loosening if that's what works better for you right now. But if you're okay with some more work on that bone density, we'll shoulders back and down, straighten the elbows. You start out with some light pressure. And if you're able or interested, you could slide forward and then bend the elbows. You come up And a little elbow bend and come up. So this is putting most of your body weight there. And then I'll slide back onto the chair. Okay, let's everybody bring your palms together, widen the elbows, and we'll go a little side to side. Feeling the stretch in the wrist. Lift the heart straight back. Center, we're going to interlace and push the palms forward and just straighten your elbows to the point, whatever is comfortable. Another way to stretch the wrist. We'll bring that in and we're going to shift the grip. So the other finger's closer, other forefinger closer to your face. And then we'll stretch again. And as you do that, be sure to keep the shoulders down because the body wants to go to help you out. The shoulders down so you get a little more stretch. Okay. All right. And then we'll use our belly muscles. We'll rotate those palms to one side in the center, rotate to the other side. And here it's mostly in the core, the trunk, getting that rotation to happen for you. And a rotation. Whew. And we'll unwind that. Open and close, hands to the front, and let's bend and extend in the wrists. We'll go out to the sides and circle. And circle. We're going to widen the legs and we're going to lean over and hug each thigh. So you want to go down, wrap your arms around and pull yourself toward that leg. Arms wide and lift. We'll go to the other side. Over, wrap your arms around and we'll come out and lift. Let's bring the hands forward. As we circle back, let's scooch back in the chair. And go ahead and lean back in the chair. We're going to take some time to do the knees, the ankles, and then we're going to go to the wands. So let's slide and straighten the knees, giving an extra kick to fully straighten the knees. And then we'll fold those out. This is where you pull in the belly and pull in the urinary muscles. So we're going to do a little toe heel. Think of rotating in the hip with that. Toe heel. And then we'll just straighten the feet and we're going to flex, extend. Thinking of the ankles now. Reinforce the urinary muscles, reinforce the belly. And then we'll circle in the ankles. Strong, big circles. If your neck bothers you, you can dip your chin a little bit, and we're going to change direction on those circles. Okay, feet down, and now to grab your device that you're going to use, tennis racket. I thought a golf club could be okay. Just some of these things are like if you hit, your picture or a window, could, be sure you're careful with whatever you're using. Okay. All right, and we're going to start with a stretch. So we're coming over to the side. So one hand is resting on top. The hand on the bottom is your power hand. It's going to push the other arm up. So let your whole trunk stretch up. And then what we're thinking of the shoulder, getting a stretch of those muscles on each side of the armpit and the shoulder. Slowly down, sometimes coming down, and get a catch. Let's go over to the other side, and now lower hand down there, pushing up, really getting a stretch on that one side of the body, both the ribs and the shoulder. And we're going to come down. Okay. Let's now bring the the hands about hip width apart, a little less. And we're going to bring the elbows back. And that makes the shoulders go back. It helps to lift the heart. And then we're going to reach forward and lift this way. So getting the upper back from two ways. This pulling back, actually there's pressure across your front of your body. Forward and lift. So strengthening in the upper back, two ways. Pull, forward, lift. And a pull, forward, lift. And now we're just going to bring it right back into the waist. And this is where the shoulders are back and down. So the shoulders are not helping by shrugging. The shoulders are back and down. The elbows are back, belly in now. So your back doesn't arch. We're going to lift, straighten, lift to the floor. And this is where this strong, slow movement is really strengthening in the core. A lift, straighten, lift, and down, remembering to pull those elbows back. So just strengthening all the good muscles in the trunk. And now we'll go in a circle with the wand, rotating right in the shoulder joint. Flexible shoulders are very important for posture, but also shoulder health. Keeping those muscles loose and stretchy. Because in daily life, walking and sitting, you don't move them very much. That's really important. Okay, we're going to do a strengthener with the wand. So the wand is pretty much straight overhead. If your shoulders don't like it, you can hold it lower. You can even rest it on top of your head. But we just want the arms up somewhat because you get more strengthening as you go side to side. So here, focus right around the belly button and the muscles in that area as you go side to side. The higher your wand is, the more the muscles have to work to pull you back up. Keep your knees and feet equally separated. Okay. All right, and then we're still lower to the front. I gotta settle my shoulders so they're down, pull in my belly. I'm gonna contract urinary and back muscles, and with straight elbows, I'm gonna do a twist so that I feel this in all of the joints, the wrists, the fingers, the elbows, the shoulders, with that twist. I'm going to bring it behind my back. And if you need to come a little forward in your chair, you can do that because you want it to be behind your back, but not getting trapped by your chair. Okay, and as you reach back, we'll put one hand on each end to make sure your shoulders go back, and then we'll push side to side. We're working on reach with that type of external rotation of the shoulder like that. Okay. All right, and then we'll bring it to the front. We have another stretch in mind. So here's where you want to make sure you have space. So we're going to go out to the side. So we're coming forward, reaching back, switch hands, reaching back. Reaching back. So you can tell this is a great stretch for the upper chest. Why would you want to stretch your upper chest? Because those are the muscles that pull you forward. And just in this, you're not even thinking about it, but might be every time you sit in a restaurant or sit at your computer, might be those muscles are pulling you forward. You need them stretched so that the back muscles can actually don't have to fight this tightness. So always good to stretch those muscles. Okay, and we'll do some strengthening. So we're gonna put the hands wide, a little wider than the shoulders. Straighten the back, keep the shoulders lowered. And we do a swimming or paddling type of movement. So you want the back straight. This is very strengthening for the back to have to hold you up while you're doing this kind of movement. Be sure to breathe. And this one, it's good if you could straighten your elbow pretty much fully each time. And we're going to fatigue or till you develop a sore spot. And then we'll go the other way. Different muscles. This one a little, if you, it's like a backward movement, the stomach a little more active. Contract the urinary muscles, and we're building endurance in the arms and the shoulders. Shoulders are lowered. I see that, looks good. Okay, whew. Let's go down to the feet. Let's come up to the waist. Let's take a breath in, go overhead. And then a breath out all the way to the feet. Let your head dangle, even wobble your head. And then we'll come up to the waist again, overhead, and to the feet. Once more, relax the neck by wobbling your head. And then we'll come to the waist. We're just going to hold it here a minute. Come halfway forward in the chair. So I don't know, because you maybe have slid back or you may have slid forward. And we get that position once again with the elbows pulled back and the wand is actually resting on your abdomen about the waistline. And we're going to do the rotator muscles. So now we're going to rotate using the muscles of the trunk to twist to the side and forward, and the other side. And forward and twist, hold, in front, twist, hold, and front. Another breath in, a breath out, and we're going to put the wands aside. We're going to do some lunging with the bands. So you want bands and probably shoes on if you're on a bare floor. Let's go ahead. Let's start with a forward lunge. So stepping back a bit, so you have room to step forward. So we'll just have the elbows at the sides. If you notice balance problems with your lunge, you could have your chair kind of close by so you could reach for it if you need to, or you could be close to a wall. But we're going to step forward to a flat foot, come up on the ball of the back foot, and spread it out a little if you can. So both knees and both feet face forward. And then you look to see that you see your front toe there. Okay. All right. And we'll nudge. Square the hips up so they face straight ahead. Shoulders are back over your hips. We're gonna bring the arms to the side, and then your arms are about as wide as your hands about as wide as your elbows. We're gonna come up like you're framing your head, and then straighten, bend forward, and then we'll just bring this back to the waist as we step back. And we'll step forward with the other foot to a flat foot. Follow the foot, feet and knees forward, shoulders back, and making sure you still see your front toe. We'll nudge. Okay, we're going to bring this, bend the elbows and rotate up, and then straighten and push out. Bend the elbows, rotate forward, and bring it back to the waist, step back. Let's do that again on each side. Step forward, align your lunge. Main thing, I see people doing this. Shoulders are back over the hips. That's really good. We'll come to the front, rotate up, push out, bend the elbows, rotate down, back to the waist. And last one, a step forward, follow the back foot, align your lunge. Think of feet and knees forward, shoulders back, belly in, your inner muscles contracted always. Front, rotate up, push out, slowly release to the front, and then we'll step back. Okay, let's take this in a circle. I'm going to walk forward because the next thing we're going to do is a back lunge. For this, we're going to put it under the front foot. And we're going to get a good amount of tension in there. And from here, we'll do a back lunge to the ball of the back foot, stepping back. Okay. And we're going to anchor those elbows in. Let's do thumbs forward, biceps twice, straight elbow, up, pause, keep your shoulders back over your hips, slow release, and we'll step forward. Same leg, let's do it twice again. So back to the ball of the foot, feet and knees forward, elbows in, thumb to the shoulder, a pause, slow release to a straight elbow, up, a pause, a slow release, and a step forward. And then we'll switch to the other foot. And this one, with the band anchored under your foot, I see people are good. You know, some people are near a wall, some people are near their chair. Somebody just need to reach out and touch something. Okay, and then with that free foot is going back. We bend both knees, bringing the shoulders back. This time, let's do one arm at a time. We're just gonna elbow back, pull up to the side body, elbow back, pulling up. Elbow back, pulling up, elbow back, pulling up, and let's step forward. And let's step back again, follow the foot, getting everything in position. We might try both together. That pull makes your legs work harder also. Pull. And these are elbows going back, and actually my shoulders drift back also. Just getting my arms and my upper back, and a pull. And stepping forward. Then I'm going to go ahead and unloop, or I'm going to put it under both feet. And have my feet separated about as wide as my hips. Taking a moment to get that perfect. And then I'm going to bend the knees and stick my seat out a little. Okay. All right. Stick the seat out a little more, lean a little more forward and get some tension in those. And then I'm going to pull, again, more of a rowing motion this time where I pull right up, elbows back, and pull, and a pull. And then I'm going to come up, back to a side walk, squeeze the seat, urinary muscles, and belly. So you get the full benefit of this as a core exercise for the hips, the belly, the urinary muscles. Very good exercise. And then back to the center. Okay, and then we'll unloop. And we'll set that aside for now. And we're going to work on our side lunges with a reach toward the foot. So a side lunge, start out with your good posture. Start out with all this core contraction. We'll lift with control. We step to the side, shift your weight, and then the seat goes back and the chest forward, but with the back stays flat. So that requires some action in the back and the stomach. And then we try to get most of the weight shifted. So I'm going to tap that foot twice. Okay. I'm going to bring my arms out and I'm going to reach toward that front toe. I'm going to come down, a rotating motion, coming down, and then the other hand going to that same foot and up. And then with control, I'm going to lift my knee and come back to the center. And I'm going to go to the other side. Up, off to the side, shifting my weight, getting that seat back, shifting the weight to that leg, bringing my arms out, and that's the leg I'm standing on. I'm going to touch and come up and touch and come up, shift back, controlled, back to the center, and a breath in, a breath out. I'm going to take my band. And do a back strengthener with this. Stepping out, shifting, flat back, tap, tap, then I drop my arms, widen them a little, bend the elbows, and we're going to just come straight out. And then the other side straight out. Each side again, straight out. The elbows are slightly bent and out. Okay, back to the center, working on my control and balance. And then over to the other side. Positioning, shifting weight. Straight back, feeling those belly muscles contract, little elbow bend, out, and out, and out. Good. Really getting that upper back. And back to the center. Okay, let's put those down. Let's go ahead, open and close, big backward arm circle. Let's come to the front, out to the sides, and circle in the wrist one way, and then the other. I'm going to breath in, a breath out. Okay, so I think we'll finish with 5 deep breaths. I'm having computer problems today and I can't shift this one, so you can't see me on the floor to exercise. So we're going to end class now with our 5 deep breaths, and I will post a recording of this. I'll send everybody the link. So let's get feet hip width apart. Okay, palms forward, pull back, make sure you have plenty of space. In through the nose, out through the mouth, squeeze the seat some, pull in the urinary muscles. Here we go. And circle back and relax. Okay.